Hello, I am Giancarlo Cassanova, and this video is for the presentation for our research paper called Systematic Literature Review of Artificial Intelligence for Malware Detection. I am from group Kelompok 7 with only myself as the member of this group. So in this presentation, we will be talking about our background for this research, our research methods, our result from this research, and our conclusion. First, we want to learn how to apply the artificial intelligence technology when creating an antivirus software. In this study, we specifically study on the main function that is for malware detection. Therefore, we have done research on several other previous research regarding this topic. First is the background of this research. We have defined some problems and their respective temporary solution while doing this research. First is commercial antivirus. There are already a lot of commercial antivirus available online, whether you can download it for free or to pay for it, but their reputations are not always the best because some of them are claimed to be the malware themselves and some are claimed to be not as good as they claim to be and just not effective enough to be called an antivirus. Our solution for this is to make our own antivirus software by using some methods that are widely used by other antivirus out there. The problem for this is the malware detection technique because there is a widely used malware detection technique called signature detection. So some professionals detect some malwares and with their signatures then register it to the database. Then the software, antivirus software, just compare the signature to software that are installed in the computer, and if it's detected to be the same, the program will be terminated. So our solution for this problem is to use the artificial intelligence because it is a technology that allows computers to learn based on a certain pattern, and it is perfect for detecting malware because malware usually works in patterns such as their behavior or their signature. Then the next problem is artificial intelligence. Because there are already too many models available, it's hard to choose from which one is the most effective or most efficient. And if we want to make one from scratch, it is hard to choose the technique and the application of any algorithm to the code. So our solution for this is to find reference because a lot of research has been done regarding this topic, so we have to just find a handful of them to learn from, which is what we will be doing in this research. So our research method is systematic literature review. This is a literature review method that follows a certain procedure to improve the quality of the paper we will be using in the study, hence why it's called systematic. As mentioned before, it follows a certain process. The first one being define the research questions. First, we have to know what we are going to solve by listing the problem in a form of questions. Then we also define the selection criteria, so we don't select random paper. So we find the more relevant and more high quality papers for the study. The third is just to find papers according to the topic. We don't have to care about the selection criteria at this phase. And the next one is to filter out the paper we have collected according to the selection criteria, so the paper we use only guaranteed to be the high quality one. And the last is to use the selected paper to answer the research question. Then for this problem, we have three research questions. First is which artificial intelligence model achieves the highest accuracy while being data efficient in malware detection. Second is what features make an efficient data model in AI for malware detection. And the third is which artificial intelligence model method was used the most in developing a model for working on malware detection tests. This is our selection criteria. The inclusion criteria is the paper should mainly be about artificial intelligence or antivirus. The paper should be 5 years old at most at the time of review. The paper should be written in English. And for the exclusion criteria, we have the paper is not indexed in corpus, the paper does not mention any dataset, and the paper does not include any artificial intelligence model. This is our prism flow diagram. This diagram is to describe the selection process of our research, such as the first collected, we have at least 19 from different database at this step. Then we done the screening process until we have at least 10, and that's what we use in this research. This is the eligibility and year graph. It's the graph to describe the paper we have selected based on their database source and their year. And next is our result. The first research question is which artificial intelligence model achieve the highest accuracy while also being data efficient. So to answer this problem, we list our models. We list the model we can find from our papers and compare them accordingly. And from this, we found that random forest achieved the accuracy of 99.78% while being tested on a set almost half the size of its training set, while the other models are significantly lower in comparison. The next research question is what features make an efficient data model in AI for malware detection? So we found some optimization techniques from the papers we reviewed. We found that there are key fold technique. This is an iteration technique that use the entire data set for both training and testing process compared to the traditional train and test split method. And the next we have transfer learning. This is basically you teach the model to generalize problem from a larger data set to be used on a smaller data set and still achieve a satisfying accuracy. And the next is which artificial intelligence method was used the most in developing a model for working on malware detection. So to answer this, we classify the algorithm of each model into deep learning or machine learning. The difference is deep learning is the more modern version, while the machine learning mentioned in this is the more traditional version. And from this, we found that most research paper we found use deep learning model to develop their own model. So the conclusion is we found that random forest is amongst the most optimal method for working on malware detection tests. Especially in this paper, we found that it outperformed even some deep learning technique in doing this kind of test. And there are also a few techniques we can use to optimize the efficiency when training a model, such as key fold technique and the transfer learning technique. And there's also a lot of research that was done using deep learning approach compared to the machine learning approach. So with that, it is now possible for us to create an appropriate model for malware detection. So the direction of our next research is to create ourselves a malware detection model with the knowledge we got from this research. And that's it for the presentation. Thank you.